Welcome everybody to Real Estate Friday. All right, we're recording. So I'm your host, Dylan Rubido with BrokerNation Real Estate. So happy always to see you, many of you on Fridays joining us for. So today we're gonna be talking, just like Steve put in the chat, we're gonna talk about expired listings and why should we look into this niche and I'm pretty sure. Well, first of all, have any of you that's joining us today, have you ever worked with expired listings before? Or have you been able to win an expired listing before? If you have, I would like to hear that, how that experience went. But I know a lot of us have our own opinion about working with expires, don't we? And the thing is that there are a lot of, it's the most obvious, one of the most obvious niches of real estate, yet it's one of the most despised ones. So why is that? Well, the thing is, how can you, and this is the fact, how can you as an agent actually conquer expired listings? So Ray, you have worked with expires before, right?
Sorry about that. I did once. It was actually a FISBO kind of expired. He was done, and he was gonna go with another agent, and I ended up talking to him, and we ended up getting a way better price. But I had also hired a company at one point that was supposed to call expires for me, and I didn't have too much success. So I'm really interested in this meeting because I do think that that's a really good thing to tap a good lead source.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
very good. And so I'm glad you mentioned that, and thank you for sharing that experience. And like I was saying, also, a lot of people, they look down on expires because they don't know how to conquer them, right? And simply put, expired listings represent failure. That's why a lot of people, they don't feel like they don't want to be. In Ray's case, it was a for sale by owner, so that's kind of like a win-win, right? When it comes to somebody that had that listing and then that listing fell apart, it got canceled, or it expired, then another agent might simply just feel or see it as a failure from somebody else, and they don't want to take the chance or go through it. And the reason was a failure because it failed to sell. And there are numerous reasons that usually the blame usually falls on the listing agent. So naturally, expires owners, they tend to have a jaded view of real estate agents in general. So, that's some of the reasons also why. But on the flip side, if you think about it, the homeowner has tipped his or her hand. So by listing, they made it abundantly clear that they have a desire to sell their home. And additionally, they also display a willingness to work with a real estate agent. That's why expires also can be very attractive. Now, this makes the owner of an expired listing the ideal lead. The moment that their listing expires, it becomes a magnet, right? For other agents hoping to jump in and win the relisting for themselves. So just like everything else in business, like working with for sale by owners, where any foreclosures, short sales, any niche in the real estate industry, there's always a formula. And today we're gonna be discussing that formula. It's just like taking time to put yourself in uh, a different position to win expires listings. It's also important to help expire listing to stand out, and that's what we're gonna discuss. How can we help them stand out? How can we help them get that bad taste maybe out of their mouth, or their view on agents differently, to see them differently? So there are a few steps, like I was saying, there's a formula that you can take to help these home sales without fighting over price or haggling over the price. So we're gonna go one by one. I have about 4 points. Number one is to improve the showing condition of the home. Improve the showing condition of the home. Even without a full staging, a home in a good showing condition will sell for more than it would have otherwise. And there's a really interesting. Let me see if I can share it in the chat. There's a really interesting article that came out. It was published by NAR, talking about home staging and how it can help sell properties. Let me see if I can share this real quick. I'll put it in the chat. All right. So if you either click on that or copy and paste, it should take you to the PDF file. published by NAR, and this goes back in 2019, profile home staging. So, like I said, even without full staging, a home can probably sell if it's presented well. And this is something that you can probably share or include in your presentation when you're talking to expired sellers. Number two, has to do with improving the marketing. And for that, you have to do your due diligence, right? You have to see what the other agent did, how it was presented, how long was it in the market. Like, you do your due diligence, but there's always room for improvement. So improve the marketing. Now, that means that you need to take better pictures and write a better description. And this is really, really important because there's two type of buyers out there. You have investors and you have people that are buying to live in the property. If it's an investor, actually what makes sense for them, the numbers, right? The physical property, it's second, but the numbers come first. Now, for the majority of the buyers, they're looking to live in the property. So what happens in this scenario? A lot of their emotions are involved, right? So if you have really nice pictures that makes the property stand out, if you have a great description, just like we talked about this past Monday, or Mindset Monday, about telling your story, there's probably a story behind the house. There's probably a story that you can tell, or put a nice picture into words describing the property that can capture and hit some emotions in possible prospects. So think about doing that, taking better pictures and writing a better description. Professional photography actually makes a big difference. The perception, just think about it, the perception that owners have of a real camera is far better than if you were to take pictures with your phone. It doesn't matter how good your phone may be. Always a professional photography, it's always a lot better in a seller's mind. Nowadays, our phones take similar quality pictures than a professional camera, but it's just the fact that for a lot of sellers, they might think, oh, an actual camera has a lot more weight than taking it with a phone, more interest, more time. And actually, we're gonna be putting together a training on that. I think Ray has a lot of experience since his background is on the appraisal. He has a lot of he's also has some background in marketing, and so he can put a lot of and shed some light into this topic. So Ray, how about we put together some training maybe for a real estate Friday on how to take some photography? What do you think?
Definitely, I'll be looking forward to it. I have a lot of opinions on photos I've seen on MLS.
I'm sure you have a lot of stories on that one. So you got to do a full marketing analysis to uncover opportunities that other agents perhaps they missed, and find that unique feature that you can highlight to attract interest of buyers. So again, good pictures, a great description, and a good marketing behind the house, you can help that seller actually sell their property. And number three is to actually solve problems that's holding back a sell. Solve problems holding back a sell. So that means that we need to become problem solvers. So if you have unlimited hours that you can actually physically show the property, not a problem. You can host an engaging open house and bring a flood of buyers through at the same time. And right now, the way the market is right now, it's perfect, right? To be able to do an open house, maybe doing over virtual, and you can get more people engaged with the property. Let me see. Can agents please put the toilet seat down? Yes, I agree, Jane. On some of the pictures, you see not only the toilet seat up, but clothes all over the place. So that's a good point as well. And number three was become a problem solver and come up with creative solutions to troublesome issues that will give you an edge over other agents. So there's always a lot of improvement that can be made, and that also builds your relationship with the seller. And number four, it's communicate with the seller every step of the way. Communicate with the seller every step of the way. Show the owners that you're thinking outside of the box. Explain to them what you're doing and that what you're doing is different. Be open, be honest. Let them see that you're working for them. Simple enough, right? So there's 4 steps. If you put them into action, if you work through them, you will be able to actually win the listing. But more than that, you'll be able to build a really good relationship with this type of seller. Remember, Or Mindset Monday, building relationships, become a friend, become that problem solver, become the go-to agent. Now, with these taxes, you not only be able to win expired listings, but you will also be selling expired listings. Now, I was talking to Ray today, and it was really interesting. Do you know how you can find expired listings? Even if you haven't worked with them before, do you know how to search for expired listings? If you haven't, or if you don't know, let me see if I can share the screen real quick. Is it this one?
The sad part about this is I've actually paid money for expired leads, and I just realized how easy it is to find them on your own.
Yep. All right, let me see. Ray, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Learn how to win expired listings.
No, I just changed it to the matrix. Can you see the matrix one?
It's still that one.
No, it's not. That's not what I wanted to see. Let me see if I can move it over here. All right, let's try again. Give me 1 second, guys.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay, what if? Okay, reach your work now. Can you see it now?
Yeah, you got it now.
Perfect.
Oh, it just went away.
Oh, I see what it is. So if I change it from one screen to another, oh, okay, got it. All right, so I'll just do this. Okay, so this is a listing. So let me go back. If you go to Matrix, if you go home, and at least in mine, I have a section here that says Market Watch. For today, there's expired listings. If you see it right here, has 41 expired listings. So if you click on it, you're gonna see all these properties that supposedly they expired. Now, you can take this as far as you want, and I'll show you in a minute how do you do that. But here you see properties that just expired. And then look at the price point on the current price, the list price, current price. So if you look at the current price, you're gonna see those prices are over $1 million. There's 2 million. There's prices for 220, the 300s, the 100s, even 85. So you have you have different type of properties that expire. So what's the opportunity here? Who can tell me what's the opportunity just by seeing this at first glance? You can unmute yourself and jump in. You don't see an opportunity?
The opportunities, there's a bunch there. But the first thing I would say is that these are all people that at least at some point pulled the trigger on signing a listing agreement to sell their property. So they're pretty much already decided to sell, and it's just a matter of convincing them that you're the right person to do it for them.
Right. That's great. And there's another opportunity here that I see is in which type of market you want to be involved with. Do you want to be in the high-end market? Do you want to be in the lower-end market? Do you want to be in the middle sector market? Do you want to list?
There's a few in the high millions there. Look.
So if you're thinking about, hey, let me try getting into the high-end market. There's a few here that they're over $1 million. Then why did they? If you do your due diligence, you start seeing, okay, maybe they overprice the property. Maybe you don't know what the situation is, but when you start digging, it might take you into a rabbit hole of many reasons why maybe it didn't get to sell. And all it takes is just knowing this data, knowing where you want to be in the market. Maybe you're selling $300,000 homes, and it's like, man, one day I want to be in selling, high-end properties. Maybe this is an opportunity. If you're gonna do any marketing, why don't do marketing to the type of properties that you want? So this obviously opens up a great opportunity. Now let me do this real quick. If I go to, let me see, single family home. Let me see this one. All right, single family home. This is in Davie. Let me see if I can get something closer to us. I saw one. It took me all the way to Jupiter, which, by the way, I love Jupiter. All right, I'll just use them. So if I copy the address and I'm gonna go and do a search, I'm gonna type in the property there. And this one is in Davie again. But let me go where it says expired. I'm only gonna go after expired. So it says there's two at 0.25 miles radius. But what if I take it to one? There's five. What if I take it to 2 miles? Now it's 24. There's 24 expired listings in that vicinity. Now I look at the price point, and they're all, most of them, either over $1 million, over 500, 900, close to $1 million. Now you have properties that you can search for. Now that's only 6 months back. What if I want to take it to longer period of time? So I go back to my criteria, and now I can go to the calendar where it says expire, this little calendar icon right here. And now let me take it back all the way to maybe, I don't know, September of 2018, from September 1st all the way to today. Now I have 213 matches. That means there's plenty of properties. There's a huge list that now I can potentially go through, see the type of homes I want to get familiar with, the areas, the type of sellers, maybe the reasons, how many times they were listed, what's the situation, how long they were listed for. I mean, there's so much information in there that you can do your own due diligence, your own research, and come up with a way to market to these people. So that's the opportunity that I see when I see a list like this. If you want to work with expired listing that just came out, then you can go to your first, your dashboard, and you're gonna see the ones on your market watch, the ones that just came out perhaps for the day. But again, the opportunity here is that expired listings, it's one of the low hanging fruits. It's a way of having properties or sellers, if you want to get listings, sellers that you can potentially market to. And who knows, all you need is one property. If you want to get into the high end market and you want to try it with expires, all you need is one property. If you get to list one property, connect with one seller, that could be the door that will open for you to a market that you've been wanting to get involved with. So think about that. All right, let's see. Jane had another question here in the chat. Many times is the sellers that are stuck on a price, whether their property is realistically at that market value or not, and they won't budge. Yes, that's very true. But guess what? Today's market, isn't everybody selling on properties that are overpriced? So this is a great time in our market to be able to go after people like this. And maybe if that was the problem, maybe we don't know what the problem was, but if that was the problem, that shouldn't be a problem in today's market. One of our agents just listed a house that, and the minute that he hit submit, he got like 5 requests to see it in that very moment, and 5 offers on the table, just like that. So there's people anxiously waiting. There are people that have alerts in their system in the MLS that the minute a house hit the market, they're gonna get an alert to go and see it. So you don't know the situation, but again, it goes back to your branding. It goes back to your effort on your marketing. What can you do to help other people? What can you do to help a seller? So work on expires. This is a great way of actually tapping into this industry. There's a lot of information when it comes to expires that I highly suggest that you get familiar with, or you can simply download this book right here. There's information inside this little booklet on how to work with expires as well. So that's it for today, friends. Stay tuned for our real estate Friday for the next ones, because on next Friday, we're having a guest speaker. She's involved with the insurance industry. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a lot of changes coming for the insurance industry that's going to affect one way or another our real estate industry as well. So please sign up for that one. That's going to be next Friday. Her name is Catherine. We had her at one point joining us for one of the trainings early sometime last year, but join us for this one because this is going to be a full update on what's going on in the insurance industry. Again, thank you so much for joining us today for Real Estate Friday. Sign up for our next event, which is Mindset Monday. And I hope to see you next week. Please enjoy your Friday, stay safe, and have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm putting it on
Take care.
gallery mode and asking everyone to unmute and just say goodbye and wish everyone a great weekend.
All right, see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye, Maritza.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a good
Hey,
Labor Day
Jesus.
weekend.
Thank you, Dayla.
Yeah, it's a long
Monica.
weekend, guys. So that, by the way, that's a long weekend. So enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.